Sophia Mahal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is Mass Transfer Operations 2. So in last lecture we studied about certain definitions about humidification, right? So let's have a quick revision again. What is the molar humidity? Okay, it is number of moles of A upon number of moles of B, that is your dry gas, right? In terms of partial pressure, it is represented as PA upon PB. Okay, similarly, when your PB is not given, you can write it as PT minus PA. Now next is your absolute humidity. It is in terms of what? It is in terms of mass of your both water vapor and your dry gas. So what you are doing, WA upon WB. Okay, now weight is represented as what? Moles into molecular weight. And similarly, your moles is again represented as in form of pressure. Okay, and the final which you have to remember is that your absolute humidity is equal to molar humidity into ratio of molecular weight of A and B. Okay, similarly saturated humidity, here instead of partial pressure you will take what? Vapor pressure, because it is condition of what? Saturation. And similarly your absolute saturation humidity, right? Whenever term absolute is there, then you have to take what? Mass. Now again WA upon WB, but instead of partial pressure you will take what? Vapor pressure. And similarly your absolute saturation humidity is equal to molar saturation humidity into ratio of molecular weight of A and B. Similarly percent relative humidity is what? It is partial pressure upon vapor pressure. Again it is also equal to your absolute humidity upon your saturation humidity, right? And the percent humidity is again what? It is humidity upon saturation humidity, right? It is also represented as percent relative humidity into ratio of what? PT minus PA sat upon PT minus PA. Clear? Again your formula of what? Humid heat and humid volume. So these are certain formulas which you have to remember when solving the sums. So let's have an example here. So see, your question is what? That your partial pressure of water vapor in a mixture of air and water vapor at total pressure of 106.6 kilopascal and temperature of 60 degrees Celsius is 13.3 kilopascal. So your total pressure here is what? 106.6 kilopascal and your partial pressure is what? 13.3 kilopascal. Here you can see that at temperature 60 degrees Celsius, okay, it is mentioned 60 degrees Celsius, and see the below line, assume vapor pressure is 20.6 kilopascal at 60 degrees Celsius. So you can see that always in exam, whenever they are giving you the data of vapor pressure, that would always be related to that particular temperature. Here our system is at 60 degrees Celsius, hence your data of vapor pressure is what? 20.6 kilopascal at 60 degrees Celsius, right? So you can see your vapor pressure is what? It is function of temperature. Now what you have to find out, express the concentration of water vapor in absolute humidity, in mole fraction, volume fraction, and you have to find the relative humidity. Okay, so these are the questions which you have to find. So let's start with, first of all, what is your molar humidity? Again see the formula, it is Y is equal to Na upon Nb. In terms of partial pressure it is what? Pa upon Pt minus Pa. Okay, because your partial pressure of P is not given. Hence, you are substituting the value, what you got? 0.14255 kilomole of water vapor per kilomole of dry air. See, be very clear about the unit. If only molar humidity is asked, your unit would be what? Moles of vapor upon moles of dry air. It is not unitless. Keep in mind. It is not mole fraction. This is what? This is mole ratio. And mole ratio always have a unit. Now next is that you have to find the absolute humidity. Okay. So what you are doing? Again, have a quick revision here. What is the absolute humidity? That is equal to molar humidity into what? Ratio of your molecular weight. Similarly that you are doing Y into 18 upon 28.84. 18 is what? Molecular weight of your water vapor. 28.84. You can also take 29. That is what? Molecular weight of your air. You have to learn this molecular weight, right? Of air and water vapor. Those units must be learned. What are the molecular weight? Okay. So that way you get your Y dash as 0.08897 kg water vapor per kg dry air, right? If you are not mentioning the unit, your marks are gone, because here it is mole ratio. Okay, try to understand the difference between mole fraction and mole ratio. This representation is what? In terms of mole ratio or weight ratio. Okay, it is mass ratio. Y dash is what? That is your mass ratio. Now the next is mole fraction. Now here you can see that what is mole fraction. What you are doing? PA upon PT. Okay, partial pressure of A upon total pressure, that is your mole fraction. But in case of Y, you can see, in case of molar humidity, you can see what we took. We took partial pressure of A upon partial pressure of B. See here, molar humidity, it is what? Partial pressure of A upon partial pressure of B. So that is your ratio. Here it is your fraction, because with respect to total you are calculating. So mole fraction is what? 0.1248. Next is your volume fraction. Here thermodynamic property is there, that for ideal gases your mole fraction is equal to volume fraction is equal to pressure fraction. Okay, hence your volume fraction is again equal to mole fraction, that is 0.1248. Now again relative humidity. What is the formula? Partial pressure upon vapor pressure. So that you are doing, so you got your answer as 64.6%. So this way questions would be asked related to humidification. Now the next important topic is your wet bulb temperature. So in last lecture we studied about its simple definition, that what is it? It is a steady state temperature attained by small amount of liquid evaporating into large amount of unsaturated vapor gas mixture. Simply take an example, you are keeping some amount of a liquid in a very large room. Okay, so your large room means it is a mixture of what? Unsaturated gas. Okay, some amount of vapor, amount of water vapor would be there, but air would be in large quantity. Okay, there you are keeping your water in open, so diffusion of course will occur. Okay, vaporization of water will occur, but your bulk air, okay, it will not get saturated. Here, got it? So wet bulb temperature, what is it? It shows you the measure of humidity of vapor gas system, right? So how we measure this wet bulb temperature? By using a wet bulb thermometer. It is what you are doing, your thermometer is same which you are taking, but here you are covering it with a cloth. Okay, a wet wick is there. It means you are covering it with your cloth which is always kept wet. Okay, here you can see that your thermometer, dry bulb is there. Okay, and in next figure you can see that wet bulb. Okay, means you are covering that bulb portion which measures the temperature. Okay, it is covered with cloth and your cloth is always kept wet, right? So that way you are creating a wet bulb thermometer. Okay, here important point is that your air do not get saturated because amount of liquid is less. Of course bulk of air is there, but your amount of liquid is what? Very less. So of course that liquid will not saturate your air. Okay, now other important thing is your bulk of air will not become saturated, but the air film surrounding the wet bulb, it will become saturated. Okay, so suppose this is your wet bulb, so a thin film would be formed surrounding it. Okay, so that thin film would be saturated. Okay, so let's understand it here. First of all, again have a quick revision. What is the definition of saturation? That your partial pressure is equal to the vapor pressure of liquid, right? Your partial pressure of water vapor, that is equal to vapor pressure of your liquid. Here you can see that your wet wick is there. Dotted line, it shows your thin film which is surrounding that wick. Okay, besides that thin film, okay, your bulk of air is there, that is unsaturated. Okay, unsaturated mixture of water vapor and dry air, it is passing through that wet wick. Okay, unsaturated part would be what? Your bulk portion. Okay, but the thin film which is surrounding it, it will be saturated. Okay, because it is in direct contact with your wet film. Okay, hence the amount of water vapor would be most in that wet film. Wet film means it is saturated. What does that mean? That your partial pressure of your vapor, that is equal to the vapor pressure of your liquid. Okay, but after that thin film, okay, your bulk of unsaturated air is there, but it is not saturated. It means the partial pressure is what? It is less than the vapor pressure. So that is clear. So your thin film, it would be saturated, but your bulk would not be. Clear? So the temperature of liquid is more than the dew point of vapor. That is to be remembered here. Of course, the liquid which is surrounding the wet wick, okay, okay, that would be liquid state, but its temperature would be more than the dew point of vapor, because in dew point what is there? All of your liquid is converted into a vapor form. Okay, this will result into vaporization of liquid and diffusion of vapor into the air system. So here you can see that heat transfer and mass transfer both will occur. Okay, let's see how. So two processes occur simultaneously. First of all is transfer of sensible heat from air to thermometer. See, the air which is passing, of course it would be having high temperature. Okay, dry bulb temperature would be more here. Okay, so first of all what will happen? Transfer of sensible heat. What is sensible heat? Heat required to raise the temperature. Here we are not talking about phase transformation, okay, only temperature is raised here. So sensible heat transfer will occur from what? From air to the thermometer, right? Second is evaporation of water from bulb to the bulk of air, okay. Latent heat of vaporization is taken here. Here you can see that in your thin film, okay, that is saturated, but your bulk is not unsaturated. So here what will happen? Diffusion will occur, okay. That is what mass transfer, and that diffusion is what? Because of the latent heat of vaporization is provided, right? It is kind of evaporation is happening. So here equilibrium is achieved. When is the equilibrium achieved? When your sensible heat transfer is equal to latent heat of vaporization, okay. When sensible heat transfer means you are increasing the temperature of your liquid. That amount of energy, when it becomes equal to latent heat of vaporization, okay, means now your liquid will start converting into vapor form, okay. So when that energy is balanced, that is your equilibrium condition. So this leads to a steady state temperature indication by thermometer, which remains same with the passing of air, okay. So hence at steady state, what do we get? That your heat transfer from gas to liquid, that is equal to the energy required for vaporization of liquid. So understand here, what is wet bulb temperature? At steady state temperature, what happens? Heat transfer from gas to liquid, that is equal to energy required for vaporization of your liquid, okay. So here are certain terms which you have to remember. T is what your dry bulb temperature, Y dash is what your absolute humidity of unsaturated gas, TW is your wet bulb temperature, Na is what your molar flux of liquid diffusing, okay. Molar flux is there. It means its unit is what? Kilomole per meter square into second. Flux means with respect to area I am talking. Ma is what your molecular weight of liquid, okay. Here water, suppose A is my water diffusing into B, dry air. A is what your contact area. So your rate of heat transfer is what? That is Hga into T minus Tw. Now energy required for vaporization is what? That is Na into Ma into A into lambda W, okay. Where your Na into Ma into A, what is that? That is your mass flow rate, okay, kg per second. So you can multiply it and see the unit here. Na into Ma into A, you are converting into what? Mass flow rate. And lambda W is what? Latent heat of vaporization. Now, what is molar flux? Okay, from in mass transfer operation 1, you might have studied, it is equal to Ky into Y minus Yw. Here Y and Yw what? That are your mole fraction of A. Y is what? Mole fraction of A in unsaturated gas, and Yw is what? Mole fraction of A at wet bulb temperature. So as the mixture is dilute, hence mole fraction is equal to mole ratio, right? Because your amount of liquid is what? It is very less, hence you can take that your mole fraction is equal to mole ratio. Now hence what you get, your Na is equal to Ky into Y minus Yw, okay. See here it is in the form of mole ratio, but I have to convert it into what? Mass ratio. So what is Y dash is equal to Y into Ma upon Mb? We know the relation. Substituting it, hence you get your Na is equal to what? Ky into Mb upon Ma whole into Y dash minus Y dash W, okay. Now substituting this value of Na in your equation of energy for vaporization, okay. So you get your final equation, that is energy required for vaporization, right? Now what is your equilibrium condition? This is your equilibrium condition this is your steady state condition, okay. It's steady state. Heat transfer is equal to energy required for vaporization of liquid. Thus we get this final representation, okay. This is what representation of your wet bulb temperature. T minus Tw is equal to Ky lambda W Mb upon Hg whole into Y dash W minus Y dash. So this is what your representation of your wet bulb temperature. Now of course relate this in respect to what? Your line, equation of line. So this is what your operating line equation of wet bulb temperature, which passes through what coordinates? T Y dash and Tw Y dash, okay. In graphically, when we will study psychometric chart, you will understand it. So the slope is what? Your slope is minus lambda W whole upon Hg upon Ky Mb, okay. The important term here which you have to remember is your psychometric ratio, okay. It is ratio of heat transfer coefficient to mass transfer coefficient, okay. Hg is what? That is your heat transfer coefficient, and Ky is what? Your mass transfer coefficient. So Hg upon Ky Mb is what? Your psychometric ratio. So these are the important points which you have to remember. Now let's see a sum. and air water vapor mixture has dry bulb temperature of 65 degrees Celsius. Okay, so dry bulb temperature is what, your 65 degrees Celsius, and with a humidity of 0.042 kg water vapor per kg dry air. What you have to find? You have to find your wet bulb temperature. Percent relative humidity is given as what? 60%, and psychometric ratio is given as 2. Also latent heat of vaporization is given as 425 kilojoule per kg. Now see, percent relative humidity, what is it? Okay, it is Y dash upon Ys dash. Okay, absolute humidity upon saturation absolute humidity. So from that you got your absolute saturation humidity. Okay, it is what? 0.077 kg. It means when your saturation condition is achieved, okay, because what is happening, mass transfer is occurring. Okay, here we saw mass transfer also occurs. Okay, so your saturation condition is what? Y dash S is what? 0.07. This is the condition of your saturation at what temperature? At wet bulb temperature. Okay, now stoichiometric ratio is given, that is what? Hg upon Ky into Mb. Okay, that is equal to 2. Now just substitute the values. So you know what is lambda W is given as 425 kilojoule per kg upon psychometric ratio. Okay, into you have the amount of value of humidity also. Okay, so substituting it, you get your wet bulb temperature as 59.05 degrees Celsius. So this way you can find the wet bulb temperature. So here you saw that your wet bulb temperature, it is less than dry bulb temperature. Okay, so what is the relation here? That your wet bulb temperature, it is always less than your dry bulb temperature. Clear? So this was about your theory of your wet bulb temperature. In next lecture we will study about adiabatic saturation temperature. So in GEAST, what you have to remember, that it is a steady state temperature, okay, at which your heat transfer, okay, from gas to liquid, that becomes equal to energy required for vaporization. Okay, that energy which is required for vaporization, that is supplied by what? By liquid only. Hence the temperature decreases. Okay, in next lecture we will study in deep about it. So what you have to remember, that it is a steady state temperature at which your heat transfer is equal to what? Energy required for vaporization. So that was for today's lecture. Thank you.